But wait, I just got to push back a
thing.
little bit. On Friday, in an exclusive interview with Andrea Mitchell, she said, "We were so busy, I didn't think about it. I just didn't think about it." Meanwhile, they paid privately a person that they had worked with before in the '08 campaign to set up a private server. They thought about it so much that they privately paid someone to set up a public server. Now, if you're not thinking about it, you say, okay, thanks for the BlackBerry, thanks for my .gov address, where's the plane? I'll go. What's the diplomatic mission? I don't understand.
I'll explain it very simply. Colin Powell had a private email address, so did previous Secretary of State.
How do you explain the server?
He also had separate devices and separate computers.
What is to explain?
Yeah, I'm just curious about the server. I mean,
this is very good.
The fact is, though,
very good example.
The good example is, though, when you're sitting down to give this interview, right, and you want to get it all out there, as opposed to this drip stuff, Governor, you want to take it by the neck and wring it clean, right? So why not sit down in that interview and say, you know, the president and I are pretty unique Americans. We're not special, but we've given a life to public service, and because of our email, we thought it was best to, you know, not make the taxpayers pay for this. We set up a private server. We actually even paid the guy to do it, and it seemed to work for us. We didn't break any laws, and we made sure that everything has been turned over now. Why not come out instead of these omissions that we seem to be catching Clinton in on the back end?
What exactly was she omitting?
That they paid him privately to set this up. That they thought about it so much that they paid him privately to set up a private server. Who does that?
Okay, so I have a slightly different interpretation, and the interpretation is this is a no-brainer. You're married to the President of the United States. Of course you're going to set up a private server. They didn't think about it much. They paid somebody to set it up. Of course they paid somebody. You think Bill Clinton knows how to set up a private server? This is ridiculous. Why are we talking about this? This is what's going to go away between now and September and February.
I think just because Americans are curious about
this is nonsense.
About why
I think the press is serious about it and curious.
Well, I think it's a factor
job, I have to say.
No, I think it's a unique situation, obviously, and I think we can all admit that. It's a very unique situation.
It's not a unique situation. Colin Powell had a separate line as well.
America doesn't have a political couple that has devoted their life to public service like we have in the Clintons. And currently we have one of them who was the First Lady and then a senator and then the sitting Secretary of State now running for president. This is very unique, and it's only them that hold these unique positions. But for regular everyday Americans, we don't have the access or understanding of setting up a private server. So I'm just wondering, from a perspective of sitting down with Andrea Mitchell on Friday and trying to wring it clean, to then on Saturday we find out that they're paid the guy privately, and that's probably why he took the fifth.
What did you expect them to do? You expect the government to pay for this? I don't get what your point is.
Well,
I truly don't get what your point is. What is your point?
Well, the point is, why would you pay someone that is already working for the State Department to then come in and privately set up and oversee your private system for 4 years if you didn't want to have complete control yourself at the back end? And that's basically what this is.
So this is your suspicion. This is your suspicion about your motives, and because she doesn't want to tell you.
No, it's been proven to be true because they had the server for 4 years, and then she destroyed about 30,000 emails that they didn't hand over because they deemed them not worthy to hand over. So this is operational, operational oversight. So do you agree that they had oversight? Did she have oversight as Secretary of State for her emails? Did she have any oversight?
Of course she did.
By who?
Of course she did.
Who had oversight?
First of all, the people who sent her emails and the emails that she sent, not one of them was marked classified. Not one. They were being marked classified after the fact, but not one of them was marked classified at the time.
I'm not even worried about classified or unclassified. I'm just wondering who has the oversight ever of her emails. I mean, during the Obama administration, which is supposed to be the most transparent, most put-together one ever, who had the oversight of how she was communicating electronically? Her.
She's the Secretary of State. She runs the State Department.
Cabinet level tenure.
That's correct.
So